Thank you, Toastmaster. Toastmasters, friends, family, and guests. As stated in the introduction, I am now in the engaging humor pathway. To start out, let me say, my last name is Midget and I'm 6 feet tall. Have you ever met a 6-foot midget? Now you can say yes. I give you this information so that you can feel invited to laugh out loud if you hear something funny. Be sure to leave your cameras on so I can see your reactions. This is my first series called Conversations with Me, Myself, and I. The collection, State of Confusion. The first speech in this series is titled Self-Talk, and I will share some stories about me, myself, and I, answer if self-talk is beneficial, and why or why not. Do you know someone who talks to themselves? I have a friend who talks to herself constantly. Oh my gosh, it was so frustrating. I always thought she was talking to me, and I'd say, "What did you say?" "Oh, I'm not talking to you." So I started ignoring her. She would have to come to me to let me know she wanted to talk to me. Now she's the frustrated one. With a show of your hand, do you talk to yourself? Be honest now. Thank you. You do know that people who talk to themselves are crazy, right? What if I told you self-talk is good? Would you agree or disagree? One of the red flags in a psych interview, usually taken by college interns, is to look for someone who hears voices. When I was asked that question, I answered honestly. "Miss Midget, do you hear voices?" "Well, I hear my voice. I hear your voice. So yes, I guess I hear voices." The next question, "Miss Midget, what medications do you take?" Uh-oh, probably not the smartest to admit when you're in a psych interview. Turns out me, myself, and I, big mouth, curious, and bored, had a lot of hoops we had to jump through to get out of that mess. We all talk to ourselves, though some of us might not realize how much. Self-talk is good, but it can also be debilitating. Self-talk is powerful and perpetual, but often it's that negative, undesirable situation or unfounded beliefs that are made to continue indefinitely. I used to say as long as I was honest with myself, it was okay. However, this is not entirely true. To discover the upward spiral that will change your life, it takes work. To make and keep self-talk positive, one must start using positive self-talk. I'm not talking about visionary boards or goals. I'm talking about checking those statements that we say to ourselves every day, and often several times a day. This start can be done with a couple of short statements, like mantras. "I have a beautiful smile, even without teeth." Or, "Under these circumstances, I can smile with my eyes." I'm not one to reinforce negatives, especially when they're already so prominent. Therefore, to focus on the positive side of self-talk, consider removing all negative words from your self-talk vocabulary. You know, don't say can't, never say never. Likewise, we shouldn't use negative words in our short statements, like not. Find the positive. For example, instead of saying "I am not dumb," say "I am smart." However, self-talk must have authenticity. It doesn't work if it isn't real or believable, and it might even backfire. It is vitally important that all attempts at changing to positive self-talk be in the now, not in the past, and be real. And repeat these statements over and over again, if need be, like mantras. Therefore, it might be better, instead of "I am smart," to say "I am smarter than I think I am." Or better yet, "I will let my smart self shine today." In conjunction with having positive short statements to rely on, we must begin to recognize the negative self-talk. In order to stop negative self-talk, it must be recognized and then replaced. Once a negative self-talk statement is identified, it must be replaced immediately. And negative is replaced by positive. Sometimes it's as simple as changing a word. From should or would to could. For instance, "I should be so much better" becomes "I could be so much better." Did you hear the energy change? Just as negative self-talk statements debilitate, positive self-talk statements energize. Changing the idea from I might not be good enough to I might not be good enough right now is energizing. It gives hope. I'll try a little harder and I'll reach a little further. Every time my daughter identifies a negative self-talk statement, she replaces it with 3 positive statements. To summarize, start using positive self-talk statements, mantras, short statements that are authentic, real, and in the present. Repeat if necessary. Take out the negative and replace with positive. Not only is it okay to talk to yourself, so long as those conversations are positive, it turns out the most important conversations you will ever have are the conversations you'll have with yourself. So be careful with what you say, because you are listening. You are listening. You are listening. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster.